So I think by this point, most of us are getting pretty bored of staying in the house all day, doing the same thing every single day. And you know, even in Smash Ultimate, maybe you're getting a little bit bored. So today, I'm gonna cause a problem for you guys. That being, I'm gonna show you guys some characters that are pretty cool, but not that many people play, and they're actually a little low-key busted in one way or another. With that in mind, of course, as well as always be my own opinion, and if you actually already play one of these characters, please tell me down in the comment section down below, because I think A, that's really cool, and B, you're a little unique, so I'll give you a little pat on the back. With that said, let's get going. Starting it off, we have Sheik, and Sheik is finally hitting a bit of a resurgence. You know, ever since Smash 4, she was very popular in that game, but like since Ultimate came out, she's kind of just been gone. But with the recent buffs, with Void playing her a lot, there's been some people playing Sheik, but still not that many. Now, the reason why just not that many people play Sheik is that she's just very hard to play and very unforgiving, and people want quick and easy results. When you can play Sheik or you can play Palutena, and they kind of do, not similar things, but you know, one can give you a bit better results than the other, quite a bit easier than Palutena. Yeah, why would you pick up Sheik? Well, the reason is because she's insanely fun, she's insanely interesting, she's one of the coolest characters in the game with her movement, with her damage, with how she flows. It's just so crisp, it's so freaking crisp. And with the new raindrop tech that we found and other Sheik kill confirms, she's actually finally consistently ending stocks. So one problem that she had in the past really isn't there that much anymore. Now, one thing I will say is that she still does struggle a ton with trading hits. So, you know, if you hit your forward air and like a Ganondorf hits his forward air, yeah, that's not gonna work. You do have to play around your opponent a lot, you have to play very smart, but you finally can kill, so, you know, it's doable now. In the past, it wasn't always doable, but now it definitely is. She's one of the dumbest neutrals in the entire game. Everything is so safe. Just like all of her tilts, all of her aerials, everything is so dumb, so good. Her grab is amazing. She has tons of speed, free combos, free edge guards, a pretty dang decent projectile, and an amazing recovery. Overall, she's just good. And I feel like as time goes on, more and more people will pick her up. Sure, she still is difficult. And yes, she is one of the most difficult characters in the game, in my opinion, to play consistently and to not get janked out with. But if you can pull out that consistency, you'll have definitely one of the funnest characters in the game on your hands. And though it will be kind of hard to win with her compared to some other characters, I think it's definitely worth it. Sonic has just kind of like sped in out of nowhere just within the last few months, mainly because of Wrath and Ken and some other Sonic players just finally showing that this character is still pretty dang nutty. Now, in my opinion, this is a sad timeline because I hate fighting Sonic. I think this is like a top 5 least favorite matches for me, especially when they're playing very smart and playing very defensive. He went, honestly, from like one of the most underrated characters in the game, from like a mid tier to essentially like a top tier in like Tweek and some other people's tier lists within like the last month, which is just insane. Now, the thing about Sonic is that while you can play him extremely aggressive, none of the top Sonics are doing that, and he is, just in general, super boring to play versus. Essentially how it works is that Sonic plays extremely movement campy, runs back and forth, hoping that you're going to throw out an attack, and he just kind of waits for his enemy to do stuff. When they finally do something, well, then Sonic will go in, hit his opponent with spin dash, which will be with dash attack, with whatever other options he wants to, and then run away again. Now, will people complain about this if you play this playstyle? 100% yes. I mean, I'll complain about it myself. But is it smart? Does it work? Does it have consistency? Is it essentially, if you can figure it out, people that are worse than you can never beat you? That is 100% also yes, and we've seen that with Wrath. He takes people's souls with them, which is kind of spicy. Overall, this character is just so good, and while his up air and some other moves are still a little inconsistent, he has speed way above everybody else, and speed being the best, like, anything in Smash Ultimate, it really shows on Sonic. The avoidability, the damage you can make, the combos that you can get from that, all of that just work. And as well, you have to keep in mind that when you play against a Sonic, you have to play Sonic's game. And if you don't, you're gonna lose. As a Sonic player, once you can learn your own game and force it upon other people, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of results. And while you may get a lot of angry people, if you can face that, if you can feel that, if you can use that anger, add it to your own power, add it to your own repertoire, you'll be getting a lot of results and you'll be doing really good, and he's actually pretty fun to play, even though people won't like to play versus you. Simply put, people just think that Ken and Terry are better than Ryu, or in most cases, just more fun than Ryu. I don't think really people even think about like how good these characters are, because they're all pretty dang similar. So why end up picking Ryu? You know, when you have these other options, why would you pick him up? Well, in my opinion, I think the thing is that Ryu actually might be the best one, and also might potentially be one of the coolest ones, especially with the buff to his Hadouken, where, you know, if he hits it from far range, he can actually just like run up and hit you and combo out of it, which is just so freaking cool. Now, while he is the slowest one, he does have the best projectile by far, being his regular Hadouken and of course his fire Hadouken. You can get the fire one at close range into like a down smash, into a side B, boom, shield broken. he has a lot of cool setups like that, which is just pretty dang good. Just overall, he has probably the best shield break setups like back air, down smash, side B, and just a ton of other setups like that that are a lot easier to do than Ken's, and Terry doesn't really have any of those at all, honestly. And just the most consistent combos that people can't SDI out of. You can't SDI out of jab jab into true Shoryuken, well, you can't SDI out of jab jab into power dunk, which is a little sad. You also can't SDI out of just like any of Ryu's moves, while with like Ken side B and his crescent kick, you can also get out of those pretty consistently, which is kind of annoying when you're playing Ken. Overall, I feel like his gameplay is a lot more methodical. He is a little bit slower. He has a little bit less balls to the walls. And there are some matchups where you actually can play just by straight up camping out your opponent. Like against a lot of the slower, like really slow characters, you just straight up camp them out and you win. Which can be kind of lame, but can be how it is. But as well, he can force a lot of approaches and he can actually go in a lot with his fireball. He can use that, the best visibilities, throw it on his opponent's shield or throw it to, where your opponent would jump, force them to not jump, and then just go in and get that close range pressure. He just has a lot of pressure. He just has a lot of damage, and he's just a really cool character. And I feel like he's that one character that is so good, but just nobody really wants to give him the time of day because he isn't quite as cool as some of the similar options. And I'm gonna be honest, yes, Ryu might not be as cool. He does not summon fire. He does not, I guess Terry also summons fire. Actually, wait, Ryu does summon fire with his Hadouken, but it's not exactly the same as a fiery punch. But he's still really cool, he's still super fun, and he's, in my opinion, he's definitely the most underrated Shoto archetype character. I'm still convinced that in like 4 years, people are going to master the Ice Climbers combos, and this character is going to be busted. This character is going to get hotfixed and just nerfed out the wazoo when somebody finally just like goes to Evo and then just 0 to death somebody 3 times, and you're like, oh, that was cool. Because the thing about Ice Climbers is that there isn't just one 0 to death, there's like a bajillion. There's like a bajillion different ways to set them up, a bajillion different ways to get damage set up. Are they easy to do? No, they are not easy to do at all. They are impossibly hard. But I mean, if you got tasks, or if you got like a robot-like human being doing them, then yes, they could do that. And I honestly think if you can get all those combos set up and actually play their neutral well, they could be top 10 easily. Now the thing is, this is just so hard to do and so hard to set up. And yeah, even though they're busted, it makes sense why like pretty much no one mains them because they're playing well with them. It's very hard, and playing them not well, not having the combos mastered, all of that leads a lot of weaknesses in their game plan. Now, I feel like they're just in general an extremely late meta character, and like 2 to 3 years, there's going to be an Ice Climber god. And with that, a thing that I can't forget is the fact that they also have desyncs, which allow for more than just combos. Sure, those allow for combos, for 0 to deaths, for spicy things, like up tilt and to jump on your opponent, just rinse repeat until they die, just dumb. But also, they allow for just some free defensive walls with stuff like Nana spamming your forward air while you're doing whatever you want, with Nana spamming your down B while you can also go in, creating a defensive wall off and on between Nana and Popo, going in while you're going for a grab while Nana's going for a different move. So like whether they shield or attack, they're going to lose either way. There's so many mix-ups and so many cool things. And when these characters are perfected, which may never happen, but if you can go in and you can perfect them, you will just feel the wrath of W's all over your life. And also, I think most people aren't going to call you lame because everything is so hard to do and everything looks so cool. So overall, a win-win. And for people like Big D that are trying them, that are trying to make them work, that are making them work, I think that's really awesome. And I hope that someday we can see a few more Ice Climbers players. With this pick, I may be a little bit delusional. I probably am a little bit delusional. But Wii Fit has been, in my opinion, one of the most busted, nutty, cool characters that's also super hype and also super lame and also dumb all in one since Smash 4. But in Ultimate, they just did that and then they like multiplied it by 10 by making her down B just dumb. It's such a stupid move now. And I love it. This character is so dumb and the down B is, in my opinion, the coolest move in the entire game and you cannot convince me otherwise. A buff to your speed, a buff to your damage, a buff to your combo game, a buff to your follow-ups, a buff to your kill power, just a buff to everything. And while I wish it was on a slightly more powerful character, and while I wish Wii Fit's forward air was like an actual move, other than that, this character is just so spicy. It's one of the best combo games in the entire game, if you can get in, which is very difficult. But if you get in, and if you have your down B, you're getting like 70-80% free, maybe even getting a kill out of that. Has amazing speed with your down B, and is actually pretty fast without it, pretty decently sized character. Also has one of the dumbest crouches in the game. You can just like walk around and no one can hit you, so that's pretty funny. Has great throw combos, has actually pretty good kill throws, at least with your down B. You can pretty decent ones without that, and can edge guard really well, so that's great too. And you can just go in and get a kill if you need to, or you can camp and get a kill that way if you need to. Now the problem is, while I personally love to go in with Wii Fit, love to do some hype stuff, sometimes people will just like spam arrows against you like with Lucina, and they're just hitting you out, and there's just not much you can do. It's pretty annoying. On the other end of the spectrum, sometimes your down B is just like on cooldown essentially. It takes forever to start charging, so when that happens, you kind of have to switch your focus from a, ham, let me get in here, let me get some spice going on, to a more spamming projectile type character. Now, do you have to ledge camp like John Numbers does, and do you have to just stay away all the time when you don't have your down B up? No, this character still has some really good stuff, and I think this character is still pretty decent at playing like the mid-range game if you need to, but yeah, a lot of people will focus a little bit more on camping when you don't have that down B up, and it can be kind of hard to just, find a mix of how much you should go in, how much you can camp, exactly how much to do each of those. Now, playing two playstyles in one is just kind of hard, and especially versus a lot of the small characters, yeah, this character just doesn't feel the best. Some of those matchups are yikes, but against the majority of the cast, I feel like she just works, and I feel like this is like one of those characters where if we had one top player that grinded a lot of time with Wii Fit, we could just see so much just amazing plays with this character. In fact, especially like a Wario player mixed with like a Samus player. If you get somebody that plays both those characters, there you go. You can get some cool moments. And yeah, in general, if you're a person that plays Wii Fit, or if you've ever thought Wii Fit would be cool and fun, I'd recommend to give her a try because yeah, this character is pretty stinking cool. With all that in mind, that's going to be my own opinion about 5 broken characters that are just really dumb good in one way or another that not that many people are maining. Now, are these characters all top tier? Are these characters all like top 15, top 20 best in the entire game? No, not really, but they all have one thing or two things that are super good about them that's kind of busted, that if you can master, can make so you can actually win quite a few games, and are actually, as well, some of, in my opinion, the coolest characters or most interesting characters in the game because they are quite unique. With that said though guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, support the channel while the world is ending. Best thing to do when the world's ending is watch videos about Super Smash Bros Ultimate. That's what I'm saying, boys, that's what I'm saying. And if you are right now, at this part of the video, say, Smash Bros before Smash tirades. I'm dying. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed and have a smashing day.